This comes in from Instagram, the Grams. How do you scale or grow a business without capital? I did this one. I've never put in any outside capital into this business. It started on a card table in my living room, and it's called organic cash flow. You make money, make a profit on your business, and you buy some food and pay the light bill at your house, and you put the rest of it back into the business. And you buy some food, and you pay the light bill, and you put the rest of it back into the business. It is limiting, and here's what's interesting. If you don't have the money, you won't be able to do some of your stupid ideas that would cause you to go broke. I have avoided some really large-scale stupid ideas simply because I didn't have the money. Not because we knew they were stupid. We only knew they were stupid 5 years later when we looked back and went, oh, I'm glad we passed on that. That would have killed us. Yeah, I'm glad God didn't give us the money to blow this thing up with because we couldn't afford the dynamite. Yeah, so organic cash flow is how most privately held family businesses grow. The idea that bank loans or debt of any kind has caused small business in America to prosper is absolutely factually inaccurate. It's a lie. There's just not that many small businesses that borrow money. Number one, you can't get a loan. You're not bankable most of the time. And the number of small businesses that prosper because they bring in an angel investor is very small. Very few can attract an angel investor because no one believes in your idea like you do, and no one executes on your idea like you do. And venture capitalists, nobody does. It doesn't. You got to get a business to a certain size before you attract those kinds of people. Number one, and then number two, by the time you get it to that size, you don't need them. And if you go down to the bank and borrow $200,000 to start something, you're going to screw this up. If the bank's dumb enough to loan it to you because you have other assets, you're getting ready to burn some of your other assets to the ground. So the way you scale or grow a business without capital is you create capital called profit. And you start small and you snowball. Every time the snowball rolls over, it gets a little bigger. When we just finished a Ramsey event center. We just had our first public event sold out there. It's a $50 million building. When I started on a card table in my living room, I didn't have $50 million to build a $50 million building. If I needed to have an event, I rented one from someone else. I rented their $50 million building for $10,000 for that day. And we sold tickets, and we made $100,000, and we took that $100,000, and we hired some people, and we sold some more tickets. And we have never had our own event center in 30 years. We've used someone else's until now. So you have to have an event center if you're in the event business. No, you don't. There's event centers everywhere. They're all over America. You have to have a printing press. No, you don't. There's printing companies. Just hire one of them, make them vendors. You can rent all this stuff, or you can hire someone else that has all this stuff and let them do it for you. You do not have to be in all these businesses, and capital intensive is just ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous. So no, grow small, reinvest your profits in things that make profit quickly. We at Ramsey, until the last 5 years, have virtually done no investing into product lines unless they would return the capital plus a profit within 12 months. We don't do 5-year programs. Because our mindset has always been, we need to make money by Friday because we got to make payroll. We've always been that way because we're cash basis. We don't borrow money, and we reinvest the profits, and we reinvest the profits. And if the profits aren't coming for 5 years, this is a problem, boys and girls. So we're at a position now, we have enough cash that we can actually do that and get away with it. But when you're in the early stages, you can't do that stuff. So not an option, Or it's called organic cash flow. That you make the money and you put the money you made back into the business. And every time you do that, every year, it'll be a little more and a little more and a little more and a little more and our revenues in 2023 will exceed 300 million. Said a little more, so a little more, so a little more. But it wasn't that when I was on a card table in my living room. It wasn't $300, man. I mean, a week. I mean, it wasn't, I made more than $300, but not much. It felt like $300.